All right, let's talk about key performance indicators, or KPIs. But here's the thing, we're not just going to chat about which metrics to pick. We're going way deeper. We're talking about how to build the engine that actually makes them work and drive real results.
You know the drill, right? You spend all this time picking the perfect KPIs, you create these gorgeous dashboards, and then crickets. Nothing really changes. It's a super common frustration for so many people. But what if the problem isn't your KPIs at all?
And that's exactly what we're getting into today. Success isn't just about having the right numbers. It's about having a powerful, well-oiled machine behind them, what we're calling a KPI engine. And we're about to lay out the complete blueprint for you.
So here's how we're going to break it down. We're looking at 4 key pillars. You've got the software, which is like the engine's brain. Then the hardware, that's the powerhouse. Communication is the nervous system connecting everything. And finally, culture, the fuel that makes the whole thing go.
These 4 pillars aren't just separate parts. They're the bedrock of a system that doesn't just watch what's happening, but actually helps you improve it.
Yeah, you can almost think of it like an assembly line. First, you install the software. Then you give it power with the right hardware. You wire it all together with communication, and then you pour in the fuel, which is your company culture. So let's jump in with pillar number 1.
First up is the software. This is the absolute control center of your entire operation. It's the brain, where all that raw data gets transformed into something you can actually use.
So its job is pretty simple, but it's crucial. It takes the mountain of numbers your business creates every single day and wrangles it into clean, visual reports. It's what lets you see what's going on, spot the patterns, and start asking smarter questions.
And this really shows how all the pieces of the software puzzle fit together. You've got your BI platforms like a Tableau or Power BI to make things look good. Then you have data warehouses like Snowflake to be the central library for all your information. And you have ETL tools, kind of like the plumbing, that move the data around. If any one of these breaks, say your plumbing gets clogged, your dashboard is suddenly showing old, totally misleading info. Every part has to work for you to trust the whole system.
And look, why does this matter so much? Because at the end of the day, good software drags data out of those dusty, hidden spreadsheets and puts it right into the hands of the people who need it, in a way they can actually understand. It makes insight available to everyone. Okay, but all that amazing software needs a place to live and work. And that brings us right to our second pillar, the hardware. This is the powerhouse, the raw muscle behind your entire engine. This is all the stuff, physical or in the cloud, that does the heavy lifting. You ever click on a dashboard and just wait and wait? That's probably a hardware bottleneck. Speed, reliability, it all starts right here.
So you basically have 2 main paths you can go down. On-premise, where you own the servers, gives you complete control, but man, it comes with some hefty upfront costs, and you've got to maintain it all. Then you've got the cloud, which is incredibly flexible. You can scale it up or down in minutes, and you pay as you go. But you are putting your trust in another company. It's a classic trade-off you really have to think about. And listen, choosing your hardware is not just some techie decision. It's a huge strategic move. It's going to define how fast your system can grow, how quick it feels to your users, and how much it's going to cost you in the long run.
Okay, so we've got the brain and we've got the muscle. Now we need the nervous system to actually connect that power to the rest of the organization. And that is our third pillar, communication. This is all about how the insights get from a screen into someone's brain where they can make a decision. It's the process that turns a static number on a dashboard into a real conversation and hopefully a smart action.
And as you can see, there's no single way to do this. It's a mix. You absolutely need those real-time channels like Slack for urgent alerts. You need formal reports for your big meetings. And you need dashboards that people can just go and explore on their own. A really healthy system uses all of these.
Because, let's be honest, a pixel-perfect dashboard that nobody ever talks about is completely useless. It's the communication that actually activates the data and gives it any real value.
And that brings us to our final pillar. And you know, this one might just be the most important of all. You can have the fanciest, most expensive tech in the world, but without the right fuel, that engine is never even going to start. And that fuel is culture.
So what is a data-driven culture, really?
Well, it's an environment where people's first instinct is to ask, okay, but what does the data say? It's a place where hard evidence wins out over gut feelings, and where being curious is a good thing. And you know you're getting there when you see this stuff happening. Your leaders aren't just talking about data, they're actually using it in meetings. People are encouraged to dig in and ask why. And maybe, most importantly,
When a metric shows a failure, it's not about finding someone to blame. It's about finding a lesson to learn.
Because culture is what powers everything. It's the human element that makes the whole system come alive. Without it, your powerful KPI engine is just a really expensive, complicated paperweight.
And that's really the whole story. You see how it all has to work together, right? This isn't about getting one of these pillars perfect while ignoring the others. It's about building them all at the same time, as one single integrated system, where every part makes the others stronger.
There's this great quote from Carly Fiorina that just nails it. The goal is to turn data into information, and information into insight. That's the whole point of building this engine, to create a machine that reliably turns out real, actionable insight.
So, as we wrap up, I just want to leave you with a question to think about for your own team, your own company. When you look at these 4 pillars, software, hardware, communication, and culture, which part of your KPI engine could use a little tune-up? Thanks for joining me.